Welcome to Actual Net Worth YouTube channel. Today we are going to tell you about the richest NFL owners ranked by actual net worth. Before going further, please subscribe to the Actual Net Worth YouTube channel. 31. Mike Brown. Cincinnati Bengals. Mike Brown's father, Paul Brown, was the original coach of the Cleveland Browns and the founder of the Cincinnati Bengals in 1968. Mike took control of the Bengals after his father passed away in August 1991. Brown has spent most of his adult life working within the organization. He's not currently listed on the real-time billionaires list. However, in 2015, Forbes estimated that his net worth is $925 million. 30. Art Rooney II. Pittsburgh Steelers. Art Rooney II's grandfather, Art Rooney Sr., founded the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1933. The Rooneys have made the majority of their wealth from their ownership of the team rather than other business ventures. Art Rooney II took over as the team's owner in 2017 after his father, Dan Rooney, passed away. The Rooney family is one of the most well-respected families in the NFL. Net worth: $1.2 billion. 29. Virginia Halas. McCaskey. Chicago Bears. Much like the Rooneys, the Halas, McCaskey family's wealth comes from owning and running their NFL team, which they've done for a very long time. Virginia's late father, George Halas, bought the Chicago Bears 3 years before she was born in 1920. McCaskey, 101, is the oldest owner in the league. Net worth: $1.3 billion. 28. Ziggy Wilf. Minnesota Vikings. The Wilf family business is Garden Homes, a nationwide leader in retail, commercial, and private residential development. Ziggy began working as an attorney before joining the family business and becoming head of one of its affiliates, Garden Commercial Properties. The Wilf's companies own more than 100 shopping centers and 90,000 apartment units around the country. They have an impressive portfolio, with the Vikings being the crown jewel. Net worth: $1.3 billion. 27. Michael Bidwill. Arizona Cardinals. Similar to the Steelers and Bears, the Arizona Cardinals are a family-run business. Michael Bidwill's grandfather, Charles Bidwill, bought the team in 1932. Michael was a federal prosecutor before he joined the Cardinals in 1996. He took over as the team's owner in October 2019 after his father, Bill, passed away. Net worth: $1.4 billion. 26. Amy Adams Strunk. Tennessee Titans. Amy Adams Strunk's father, Bud, was one of the founders of the AFL and the Houston Oilers, which became the Tennessee Titans. Bud Adams made his money in the petroleum business before delving into football. Adams Strunk also founded Canada Farms and the Little River Oil and Gas Company. Net worth: $2 billion. 25. Sheila Ford Hamp. Detroit Lions. A descendant of Henry Ford, Sheila Ford Hamp's family runs the massive car powerhouse, Ford Motor Company, headquartered in Michigan. Hamp took over as principal owner of the Detroit Lions in June 2020 after her mother, Martha Firestone Ford, stepped down after leading the organization. Hamp is the matriarch of the Ford family, is worth $2 billion, according to Forbes. Net worth: $2 billion. 24. John Mara and Steve Tisch. New York Giants. The Giants' ownership situation is a bit unique. The team is co-owned by John Mara and Steve Tisch with a 50-50 share. Mara is a former labor lawyer and the grandson of original team investor Timothy Mara, as well as the oldest son of Wellington Mara. John isn't the most famous person in his family, as his nieces are actors Kate Mara and Rooney Mara. Tisch is a movie producer and the son of Bob Tisch, co-founder of the Lowe's Corporation, which bought a 50% stake in the team in 1991 and has maintained the split since. Combined, Mara and Tisch are worth at least $2.1 billion. 23. Mark Davis. Las Vegas Raiders. Mark and his mother, Carol Davis, inherited the Las Vegas Raiders after Al Davis passed away in October 2011. Mark has worked exclusively for the Raiders throughout his adult life, including stints in the equipment department and retail sales. Now, he finds himself at the top of the organization, which has experienced significant growth with him at the helm. Net worth: $2.3 billion. 22. Dean Spanos. Los Angeles Chargers. In 1960, Dean's father, Alex, founded a G. Spanos Companies, one of the country's most prominent apartment developers. The company is among America's largest family-owned businesses. After failing to secure a new stadium in San Diego, Dean Spanos moved the Chargers to Los Angeles, where they are currently situated. The team is owned by the family, which, as a whole, is worth $2.4 billion. Net worth: $2.4 billion. 21. Jim Irsay, Indianapolis Colts. Jim Irsay's father, Robert, was a Chicago-based industrialist who built his fortune mostly on various heating and air conditioning businesses. Jim, the current owner of the Indianapolis Colts, inherited the team and his father's wealth when the latter passed away in 1997. Robert initially bought the Los Angeles Rams in 1972 for $19 million. That same year, he traded the team to Carroll Rosenblum in exchange for the Baltimore Colts. The two owners swapped all assets and liabilities, including rosters. Net worth: $4.4 billion. 20. Jeffrey Lurie, Philadelphia Eagles. In 1983, Jeffrey Lurie joined General Cinema Corporation, a major film company founded by his grandfather, Philip Smith, and headed by his uncle, Richard A. Smith. He then founded Chestnut Hill Productions in 1985, which produced a string of Hollywood movies and TV shows. Lurie initially tried to purchase the New England Patriots in 1993, but it didn't work out. Instead, he purchased the Philadelphia Eagles in May 1994 for $195 million, and he's been in control of the franchise ever since. Net worth: $4.6 billion. 19. Janice McNair, Houston Texans. Janice McNair, the widow of Robert "Bob" McNair, inherited her late husband's 80% stake in the Houston Texans following his passing in 2018. In 1999, Bob sold Cogan Technologies, the largest privately owned energy cogeneration company in the world at the time, to Enron for $1.5 billion. After amassing his fortune, McNair was determined to bring an NFL team back to Houston after the Oilers left for Tennessee, and he did just that in 2002. Net worth: $5.6 billion. 18. Denise DeBartolo York and Jed York, San Francisco 49ers. Denise is the granddaughter of Edward J. DeBartolo Sr., an Ohio-based construction mogul and commercial real estate developer who purchased the San Francisco 49ers in 1977. Denise also presided over the Pittsburgh Penguins during their 1990-1991 championship season, making her the third woman to serve as president of a Stanley Cup-winning team, adding to her impressive business resume. Net worth: $5.8 billion. 17. Gail Benson, New Orleans Saints. In 2004, Gail married Tom Benson. Tom was a businessman and owner of multiple car dealerships. He eventually purchased several small banks and formed Benson Financial, which he sold to Norwest Corporation in 1996. Tom passed away in 2018, so Gail inherited the New Orleans Saints and New Orleans Pelicans. Net worth: $6.1 billion. 16. Kim and Terry Pegula, Buffalo Bills. Terry Pegula made his fortune in the fracking industry. In 2010, he sold the bulk of the assets of his company, East Resources, to Royal Dutch Shell for $4.7 billion. Terry and his wife Kim married in 1993 and have been in business dealings together ever since. In 2011, they purchased the Buffalo Sabres for $189 million. In 2014, they bought the Buffalo Bills for $1.4 billion, outbidding a group led by former President Donald Trump and one led by musician Bon Jovi. Net worth: $6.8 billion. 15. Steve Bisciotti, Baltimore Ravens. Steve and his cousin, fellow billionaire Jim Davis, started what is now called RICHEST Group in 1983 and turned it into the largest staffing firm in the U.S. in 2000. Bisciotti purchased 49% of the Baltimore Ravens following the approval of NFL owners. In the deal, he had the option to purchase the remaining 51% for $325 million in 2004 from Art Modell, which he exercised, setting up the power dynamic that Bisciotti currently oversees. Net worth: $7.1 billion. 14. Jimmy and Dee Haslam, Cleveland Browns. Haslam is the CEO of Pilot Flying J, a company his father Jim founded in 1958. Haslam purchased a small stake in the Steelers in 2008 before purchasing the Cleveland Browns for $990 million in 2012. His brother, Bill, was the governor of Tennessee from 2011 to 2019. Net worth: $8 billion. 13. Arthur Blank, Atlanta Falcons. Arthur Blank and Bernie Marcus co-founded Home Depot in 1978 after being fired from their jobs at a regional hardware store. Blank retired as Home Depot's co-chairman in 2001, and he purchased the Atlanta Falcons in 2002 for $545 million. Net worth: $8.2 billion. 12. Josh Harris, Washington Commanders. After graduating from Penn and Harvard, Josh Harris worked in mergers and acquisitions at Drexel Burnham Lambert before co-founding the alternative investment firm Apollo Global Management in 1990 alongside billionaires Mark Rowan and Leon Black. Harris stepped down from day-to-day duties at Apollo in 2021. In September 2022, he founded a new asset management firm called 26 North, which reportedly has more than $5 billion in assets under its control. In addition to owning the Commanders, he's also the managing partner of the Philadelphia 76ers in the NBA and New Jersey Devils in the NHL. Net worth: $8.3 billion. 11. Glazer family, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Malcolm Glazer was a real estate and business mogul who purchased the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 1995. The Glazers also owned Manchester United before selling their shares in 2021. Now, they're mainly focused on the NFL and their Buccaneers franchise. At the time of his passing in 2014, Glazer owned a diverse portfolio of investments, including food service equipment, food packaging and supplies, marine protein, broadcasting, healthcare, property, banking, natural gas and oil, stocks, and bonds. His family inherited the team after his passing. Net worth: $10 billion. 10. Stephen Ross, Miami Dolphins. Stephen Ross was a tax attorney before founding Related Companies in 1972 as an affordable housing developer. Related has developed or acquired $60 billion worth of properties since it was founded. Ross also owns the Miami Dolphins and has stakes in Equinox Fitness, SoulCycle, and numerous restaurant chains. Net worth: $10.1 billion. 9. Robert Kraft, New England Patriots. Robert Kraft sold newspapers growing up and then amassed a fortune as the owner of paper and packaging companies Rand Whitney and International Forest Products. He purchased the New England Patriots in 1994 for $172 million, and they have grown into one of the most popular and successful sports franchises. Net worth: $11.1 billion. 8. Shahid Khan, Jacksonville Jaguars. Shahid Khan is an engineer who bought Illinois-based Flex N-Gate, an auto parts supplier, in 1980. His design for a one-piece truck bumper was key to his success, and the company now has 69 plants and more than 26,000 employees worldwide. Khan purchased the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2012. Now, he and his son, Tony, are front and center for the day-to-day operations of the Jaguars. Net worth: $12.2 billion. 7. Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones amassed his fortune in oil drilling with the Arkansas-based company, Jones Oil and Land Lease. He struck oil in 12 of his first 13 wells, with the first yielding $4 million in oil, according to the book, The Dallas Cowboys: The Outrageous History of the Biggest, Loudest, Most Hated, Best Loved Football Team in America. Back in 1989, Jones bought the Cowboys for $150 million, and today the franchise is worth $9 billion, the highest valuation of any sports team in the world. Jones has become one of the most powerful and polarizing owners in all of sports. Net worth: $13.8 billion. 6. Johnson family, New York Jets. Woody and Christopher Johnson are businessmen and owners of the New York Jets. They are great-grandsons of Robert Wood Johnson and heirs to the Johnson & Johnson empire. The Johnson family was reported to be worth $16 billion in 2024. Net worth: $16 billion. 5. Stan Kroenke, Los Angeles Rams. Stan Kroenke is a real estate magnate who also owns the Denver Nuggets, Colorado Avalanche, Colorado Rapids, and the Arsenal Football Club in England. He owns some 60 million square feet of real estate, more than 1.5 million acres of ranches across the US and Canada, and is married to Ann Walton, the daughter of late Walmart co-founder Bud Walton. Kroenke is one of the biggest powers in sports, with an impressive catalog of teams under his control. Net worth: $16.2 billion for Jody Allen and the Paul G. Allen Trust. Seattle Seahawks. Jody and Paul Allen were once considered the richest owners in the NFL. Paul Allen, who passed away in 2018, co-founded Microsoft with Bill Gates. At the time of his passing, he owned the Seattle Seahawks and Portland Trail Blazers, and he was part owner of the Seattle Sounders. Jody is currently the chairwoman of the Seahawks. Her family's estimated net worth is around $20.3 billion. Net worth: $20.3 billion. 3. David Tepper, Carolina Panthers. In 2018, David Tepper bought the Carolina Panthers for $2.8 billion. Tepper is a hedge fund manager. His Appaloosa Management hedge fund firm now manages nearly $13 billion in assets. He recently surpassed the Allen family on this list. Net worth: $20.6 billion. 2. Hunt family, Kansas City Chiefs. The Hunts are one of the wealthiest families in America. Clark Hunt, CEO of the Kansas City Chiefs, is the son of Lamar Hunt, who was one of H.L. Hunt's 14 children. The family remains active in the oil and gas businesses, as well as in real estate. They also own FC Dallas of MLS and a minority stake in the Chicago Bulls. Lamar Hunt helped launch the American Football League, and their family played a huge part in the history of the game we know and love. Forbes estimates the Hunt family's wealth to be $24.8 billion. Net worth: $24.8 billion. The Denver Broncos have been sold to the Walton Penner ownership group. The group, led by Walmart heir Rob Walton, Greg Penner, and Kerry Walton Penner, and including limited partners Melody Hobson, Condoleezza Rice, and Lewis Hamilton, will be the Broncos' first new owners in 38 years. Walton is considered the richest owner in the NFL by net worth. According to Forbes, Walton's net worth is $77.4 billion, which makes him more than twice as rich as any of the other NFL ownership groups. Net worth: $77.4 billion.